Welcome back to Earstravagent Adventures. I am Rachel, and along with Mackenzie, we're your devoted guides to the captivating world of Disney, Universal, and beyond. Tune in every other week as we uncover a universe of wonder and cherished memories. Welcome aboard, fellow adventurers. This week, since we are so close to Valentine's Day, we're giving you our best date night ideas at Walt Disney World specifically, because we could talk about all kinds of different destinations, but we're going to focus on Walt Disney World. But before we do that, let's give a quick shout out to Alonzi Travel, the ultimate theme park experts. Planning theme park trips can be overwhelming, but Alonzi Travel is here to make it stress-free. With their years of experience, they're your fast pass to hassle-free travel. They handle all the details, allowing you to focus on having fun with your loved ones. Whether you dream of Hogwarts or Disneyland, they've got it covered, tailoring the trip to your family's needs. Visit alonzi-travel.com/take the trip for a magical adventure. Mackenzie, I'm excited. Have you ever done a date at Disney before?
We have, yes, several times.
It's
what about you guys?
Yeah, for sure. Well, we had our honeymoon at Walt Disney World, so it's like the ultimate date at Walt Disney World. But a date at Disney just hits different, right?
It does, yeah. We did our baby moon there, so I feel like.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, okay. That's another great occasion to celebrate. And we were going to spend our 15-year anniversary here. We kind of every 5 years went back to Disney to celebrate our anniversary, but we changed our minds and we're going to do a Virgin Voyage this year.
Ooh, exciting.
So big difference. But I figured we could start the conversation easy because when everybody thinks of a date, they think of going to dinner. Super basic is an ugly word for this, but very traditional. There we go. Traditional, like a romantic dinner. Yep. So there's a couple popular places for romantic dinners at Walt Disney World specifically. The first one, I'm actually going to go in a different order. The first one most people know about is California Grill. So California Grill is on the top of the Contemporary Resort. And it has floor-to-ceiling windows, so you can see directly into Magic Kingdom, and people will watch the fireworks there. So if that's something important to you, you probably want around an 8 o'clock, depending on the time of year, 8 o'clock dinner reservation, and that way you can have dinner and see the fireworks. Because dinner there probably takes about an hour, wouldn't you say?
Oh, yeah. I tell people at least 90 minutes, and when you're at like a fine dine, a signature restaurant, I would say that, I would estimate even longer. They certainly don't rush you at the signature meals. But if you do have an earlier reservation, you can still come back, show your receipt, and you can watch the fireworks from the balcony.
That's a great tip because their view is spectacular. A lot of places at the Contemporary have general good views of the fireworks, but California Grill, because it's at the top, chef's kiss. I haven't been there in years. Have you been recently?
No, I have not. I didn't even get to do the 50th menu.
Oh, I haven't been even before that, but they got a brand new menu. So one of my bucket list things, not bucket list, but one of the things I hope to do this year is to go and try the menu. Because the last time we went, I did not love the food, which is disappointing because it has great views, but I was not a fan of the food.
Interesting. Okay. Yeah, no, overall, I think but I wonder if that was a one-off or.
I think people judge it based on Disney standards, not general food standards. And if I'm at a hotel paying that price point, I'm judging it on food standards. So
sure.
Walt Disney World wise, it's fine. General food wise, I was a little disappointed, but that was 6 or 7 years ago. So things probably have changed since then. So have to give it a second try.
And a whole new menu for sure.
Yeah. The next two that I've done relatively recently, Toledo's is a sleeper hit, you guys.
Oh, for sure. I did it in September, actually by myself when I was down there for a work trip.
Same. I did it by myself too.
It was fantastic. So first of all, the space is absolutely gorgeous. You have, again, floor to ceiling windows. You are at the new tower at Coronado Springs. It is based on a Spanish feel, Salvador Dali is the primary inspiration, at least for the bar next door, but for Toledo as well, wouldn't you say? Or trying to
Yeah,
remember
and it's
my
very
points.
so Salvador Dali is an artist, but it's also Gaudi inspired. So
Yes.
Gaudi is the
Yes.
architect for a lot of places in Barcelona specifically, and beautiful architect. And then Salvador Dali is and he's an art, like he's done films with Disney, so it's like the two of them combined. So it's a really gorgeous space. It reminded me of one of the Gaudi monuments in Barcelona with the arches that they have. So it's a really beautiful space. Like, you do not expect this kind of restaurant in a moderate resort, but
No, definitely not. I thought that the menu was great. I thought the food that I had was delicious. I had some wine pairings. I thought the wine was great. Service was fantastic. It's a slightly louder space because, it is a open air, but I still think it's a great dining date night option.
and it has views of Hollywood Studios and Epcot. So again, a fireworks viewing location. So and it's not as popular as California Grill. It's getting there because the food is really good. I had a steak; it was cooked perfectly. Highly recommend. But you can also see the fireworks.
So, and it's a Michelin rated restaurant.
That's news to me, but I believe you.
Oh yeah. Yes. So it doesn't have a star or anything, but it has been rated by them. So it is one of two on Disney property. Am I correct with saying that Victoria and Albert's is? Yeah. So
yeah.
Yeah,
I think Victoria and Albert's has a star.
Sure. Yeah, it does. But but Toledo has been reviewed. Yeah, fun fact. So definitely an option. And the reason why it's not as popular is because it is, at, like you said, at a moderate resort. You need to take the bus there. Coronado is a great option, but not as easy to get to.
Yeah. The last one that has fireworks viewing, and Mackenzie, you can definitely add some more dinner places, but I wanted to definitely highlight all the ones that have fireworks, is Topolino's Terrace over at the Riviera. Number one, the Riviera is a gorgeous resort. Mm-hmm. We love it. We love to recommend it to our clients. It's beautiful. But the dinner, so if you didn't already know, the dinner is not a character meal. Breakfast is, but dinner is not. And it's Northern Italian fare. So you'll see a little bit more seafood here. Not lighter dishes. It's not as heavy. And the food is really good. They just got a revamp on the menu. But they have an open air terrace outside where you can watch the fireworks. Epcot and Hollywood Studios, again, here, it's closer to Epcot. Fun fact here, I've had the best French 75 on property at this bar.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. Another great option. We actually didn't do a date night here. We had the entire family, but it is still appropriate. I would definitely say that if you're staying on the Epcot side of things, this is a great option, and I refer my clients to this as my go-to date night.
And it's easier to get to because it's on the Skyliner. So like you said, if you're at an Epcot area resort or you're at Epcot or Hollywood Studios, you just hop on the Skyliner to get over there. And that's like a great start to your date. Taking the Skyliner, especially if you get a Skyliner together and nobody else is in it, get in the Skyliner, take a walk around the Riviera, go up to the roof, have a nice dinner. I really like this one.
Yeah, definitely.
Any other just traditional restaurants that we want to mention?
So I really enjoy Citricos. I don't know how you feel about it. I did see another Grand Floridian option on your hidden gems list, but I think Citricos for me is food-wise was on par. We did this on the same trip we did Topolino's. This was actually our date night pick. We did this before we went into the park for the Halloween party a couple of years ago, and we loved it. The food was delicious. The feeling or the nods to Mary Poppins were really lovely. I just thought it was a great option. It doesn't have the view that Narcoossee's has, but you can.
Yeah, that's my only drawback with this one is it doesn't have it doesn't have the best location, but after the refurb, it is a stunning restaurant and the food is great.
Yeah.
By restaurant standards, not by Disney standards. Like this is a really good restaurant and the price point is solid. Like it's definitely a really good date night. And then when you pair it with one of the bars that we're going to talk about, it's top tier. Yeah. I didn't know if I wanted to say Citricos or not, but I'm glad you brought it up because it is a good option.
Oh yeah. No, definitely my go-to on the Magic Kingdom side of things.
Yeah. Now some hidden gems that don't really get talked about a whole lot. Like you were talking about, Grand Floridian has good dining. Like as stuffy as I feel Grand Floridian is, they have good food. Narcoossee's is great. It just got a refurb recently. They got a menu update. It's over the water dining. So if that gives you any indication on what kind of food it is seafood inspired. And we had a great dinner here. The service was impeccable. Plus, like over the water dining is just a lot of fun. So this is another one. I should mention Citricos, California Grill, and Narcoossee's do have dress codes. So
yes,
something to keep in mind. But it's not like they're super strict with the dress code. But if you do show up in like park clothes, you will feel out of place and slightly uncomfortable. So we do encourage you to, dress up for that. But Narcoossee's is great. Have you been personally?
No, I haven't. So I know it's on my list. It was actually closed the last time we stayed there. So I didn't get to do it.
Yeah. Next time. Another one I really love, this one's more on the casual side, is Wine Bar George. I think the food here is more small plates. Like they have regular size stuff too, but their small plates are solid. But this is a great wine selection. George, the owner,
better than great. It is an excellent, impeccable wine selection.
And because it's owned by, I forget what exactly they call him because he's a sommelier, but he's a fancy kind of sommelier. Do you remember what it's called?
No, I can't remember.
Our wine enthusiasts will know and be mad at us that we're not knowing the term. But anyways, he curates the wine collection, and there's like hundreds of wines.
Master sommelier.
Master sommelier. Yeah. And you can make your own wine flights. And I think they have, I know that they have a good frosé and a good Dole Whip frosé. But if I'm going to Wine Bar George inside seating, I'm going to have wine. You've been then?
Not recently, but yes.
No, but you have been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's delicious.
It's delicious.
I would say that this is, and I just had a client there, actually last week who was saying that it was such a great pick. It was her favorite for the trip.
And this one is at Disney Springs. So it's like we said, it's more casual. So, some people love date nights to be a little fancier affair. And some of the other ones that we've mentioned already are fancier, but Wine Bar George is very down to earth. And because it's a wine bar, there's going to be a lot less kids here. So it's going to lean towards more of an adult atmosphere, which is great. And then the last, you'll have the last hidden gem, but one more hidden gem that I have, I'm obsessed with Flying Fish. I think it's so good. And the decor is great. The best scallops I've ever had on property. They were so good. But it's also on the boardwalk, and the boardwalk is a whole lot of fun. It in itself is romantic. I didn't put this on a unique experiences, but you can always rent a Surrey, do a little Surrey ride around the boardwalk, and then go have dinner at Flying Fish. I really love Flying Fish. Fun fact, I've eaten at a lot of these places by myself. I ordered the scallops, and it was taking a really long time, and I was starting to get, honestly, kind of annoyed. The server comes out, and he's like, listen, we made your scallops. The chef was not pleased with the quality of the scallops, and he's remaking them. And I was like, oh, dang. Even if this is a lie, like I feel very fancy right now that the chef himself said this needs to be remade. And they came out and they were so good. So good. What have you had there?
So I haven't had the scallops. I was just looking it up because I'm like, what was it? It was potato wrapped red snapper. So if you actually look at the picture on the website of Flying Fish, that is what they have on that. I believe it's the one on the website. So it is
great.
It was great. We did this last time not the last time we were at the boardwalk, the time before. And it was like a fantastic option. Everything that we had was really delicious. We did have our 2-year-old at the time with us, so you can, bring kids, and we did see a good amount of kids, but absolutely this would be my date night pick. If you wanted to do the boardwalk, you can get some ice cream afterwards if you aren't already filled up by the dessert at the restaurant. And then you can go and see like all of the different acts that are playing on the boardwalk area, which is so fun. And then do some like midway games because why not?
Because why not? And this, I think, is a good vibe, but it's between like Narcoossee's and Wine Bar George. So Narcoossee's is going to be fancier. Wine Bar George is casual. Flying Fish is squarely in the middle, which is nice. So you have lots of different styles of date night to choose from. And like you said, the boardwalk is a fun place to be. Even if you're not staying there, you can enjoy all those things.
Yeah, definitely. I don't have any other hidden gems. Flying Fish was my pick, and Wine Bar George. I'm sure there are other great options at Disney Springs. We just don't do a ton there.
Well, like my thing with Disney Springs is there's a lot of places, but I don't feel they all give me like date night vibes. They are good restaurants, but I think a lot of them lean more towards family or groups than date nights. We didn't talk about Victoria and Albert's. Number one, I don't mention Victoria and Albert's because it is very expensive. It's also really hard to get into, and it's not for everybody. It is an amazing dining experience, but it is 100% dress code enforced, and it's going to be several hours because it's like an 8-course.
Yes, 7-course.
Yeah. So it's a traditional like Michelin star restaurant. Sit down every day is a different menu. They custom tailor it to any allergies and stuff. It's a great experience, but it is very expensive and hard to get into. So we would be remiss if we didn't mention it. But it just know that it's like more of like a European fine dining experience.
Absolutely.
Do you guys go to cocktail lounges? I have a couple on here. One specific is I'm obsessed with. Which one's your favorite?
Okay, so Trader Sam's is our favorite, obviously, because like who doesn't love Trader Sam's? But let's talk about Trader Sam's. Let's talk about
Trader Sam's. You go ahead.
Okay, so Trader Sam's is on the ground floor of the Polynesian. It is open starting at 3:00 daily. You can bring kids in until 8:00 at night when it becomes an adult only bar, basically. So it is something that we end up doing on every trip. If we, don't have, kids or have some sort of babysitting option. It has amazing tiki drinks. If you order the specialty drinks, you can get, you'll see basically a little bit of a show, I guess you should say. So depending on what you get,
and I will say the skippers at Walt Disney World are way more fun than the skippers at Disneyland, which is such a bummer because Disneyland is the original, but I have way more fun at Walt Disney World.
Yeah, definitely. They get way more into it for sure.
So funny story. We I was there by myself one time, and in case you didn't know, the bar in the middle, the high top, which is where you're like sitting high up, the stools are adjustable, and the bartenders can adjust them. So there was this one lady who had maybe one too many tiki drinks, okay? And they knew it. So they kept like slowly lowering her. And like after a couple minutes, she would be like, did my chair get lower? And then they'd raise it back up. It was hysterical to watch because everyone at the table was like in on the joke because they weren't drunk enough to not realize what was going on. It was great. So Trader Sam's, great. However, I tried to go this last time in December on a weekday, and we got there at like 3:30. It was a 4-hour wait.
Oh, yeah. So I tell people, so if you want to get in, like, you see people lining up at 2, or if you're going to pair it with a dining, experience, you're going to go to Ohana or Kona Cafe, go beforehand, put your name on the list. And then, as long as it's not a 4-hour, wait, you can likely get in by the time you're done with your meal.
Or like on your rest day or your first day where you have time to kill, like just be prepared that you'll probably have to wait to get in here, especially during busy time. But I feel like it's worth it kind of thing.
It's totally worth the wait. It's a small bar, so there's not a lot of seating, so that's why it takes a while to get in.
And people have fun when they're in there and they don't want to leave.
Yeah. It's also one of those things that you can order one of the souvenir drinks, and they have the mugs or glassware to sell, which I, probably should have grabbed a couple because they're all in my basement.
I have a couple.
My husband collects them. Yeah. If you can't get in, you can always go to the lounge outside, which is not the same experience. However, you can get the same drinks, and you can also buy the souvenir glassware.
You just won't have the fun skippers. But if you really just if you want a good tiki drink, the outside place will have them for you.
Yeah, and they have music, which is also fun. So you can always, hang out and listen to some Polynesian tunes.
Now, if you don't want to wait for Trader Sam's, just hop on the monorail and go over to the Grand Floridian, the Enchanted Rose at the Grand Floridian on the second floor. My words always want to swallow Grand Floridian. I don't know why. The Enchanted Rose, it is a beautiful bar. It is Beauty and the Beast inspired. They have wonderful nods to it. It's Beauty and Beast, the live action with Emma Watson. But their cocktails are very unique. They have some, and I can't remember all of them, but one that I had was wonderful. My friend had a different one, and they're like cocktails. It's not like you're going and ordering a gin and tonic. This is like a mixed fancy drink, like what you'd see on like bar competitions. They are very good. Last couple times there has been a little bit of a wait to get in, but not like Trader Sam's. Like you may be waiting 20-30 minutes, which totally fine. Again, it's a small space, but the drinks are really great, and it's just a lovely space. Have you had a chance to go in?
Yeah, so we did a couple years ago. First of all, it was beautiful. I loved the bar area. There wasn't space at the bar, so we ended up sitting at one of the tables in the other room. We did grab some food. I thought the drinks were great. I thought the food was fine. It wasn't like my, favorite. I wouldn't say like, oh, go eat there. But again, it's not like a regular meal. It's some apps. Theming wise, absolutely awesome.
And the last bar that I really like, and again, this is all outside of the parks. There's bars inside parks, but that's for park day, so we're not going to talk about it. Abracadabra over at the boardwalk is another really fun one. It's magic themed, but like vintage magic. The wallpaper is so cool. They also have inventive cocktails there. I wouldn't say the space is as comfortable as like the Enchanted Rose. I think the Enchanted Rose is a better overall space, but because we love the boardwalk, this is a great, and it connects to Flying Fish actually. So you can go have
a cocktail. Trattoria Al Forno. I think it connects to both.
Yeah, you're right. It's right in the middle. So you can have a cocktail there and then go have dinner, or have a cocktail and go enjoy the carnival games or the acts or things like that. Again, inventive cocktails. So this isn't like, let's just go order a gin and tonic. They have interesting cocktails, which I like. I'm in my cocktail era, so I like to have an interesting cocktail. So it's nice to see inventive stuff on menus.
Yeah, the boardwalk in general, the hotel, the theming extends to the restaurants, I feel like. So I just feel like it's a really fun experience. So if you have the chance to go to the bar and Flying Fish, I would definitely do it.
Now that's, traditional date night stuff, but there's also quite a few non-traditional things that you can do at Walt Disney World Resort.
I'm going to let you do the first one because I don't agree. I see your point.
It's not romantic, to be fair. So for those of you who like to do activities on your date night, I like Hoop-Dee-Doo because it is a dinner show. It's not romantic. It is not romantic. So don't come for me for that. But it's all you can eat barbecue, all you can eat drink sangria and beer, and it's dinner. It's a dinner and a movie, basically. What? Tell me what you don't agree with. I want to hear it.
Say knee slapping time.
It is knee slapping time. There's all kinds of different dates. It doesn't have to be a romantic date.
Yep. Nope, definitely. But you're right. It's an all you can eat and care to enjoy beer and wine, correct?
With sangria.
Sangria, right. And so, I think there's something to be said about that.
Yeah.
I think that's it.
I mean, come on, we're talking unique stuff. Abby would be so pissed if we didn't bring it up. You know, Abby loves Hoop-de-Doo.
I don't know if she would call this date night.
This one's more up my alley. Is Cirque du Soleil. So Cirque du Soleil, they have a reimagined show called Drawn to Life at Disney Springs. I love Drawn to Life. I saw it. I think it's beautiful. It blends storytelling plus the acrobatics of Cirque du Soleil so well. And it's an intimate theater, so there's really no bad seats. I like the further back seats because you can see better. But if you pair this with like dinner at Wine Bar George, dinner and a show, Cirque du Soleil is great. And the price point for these tickets is really great as well. And not a lot of people pay attention to Cirque du Soleil. So it makes for, to me, a really great date night.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's something that is overlooked a lot because there's so many other things that you can do at Disney World. So it's a good option if you are looking to do something a little bit different.
Have you done this next one?
No.
Okay. So I'll talk about it because I totally have. There is 3 mini golf courses over at Walt Disney World. One is by Blizzard Beach. It's called Winter Summerland, and it is Santa on vacation. Very cute. There's the Fantasia Mini Gardens, which is Fantasia themed, and that one's my favorite. And then there's a stupid one. It's normal. I was so mad
because was not expecting that.
Well, they booked us at the wrong one. I wanted Fantasia Gardens, but they booked us at the one where it's just like a putting green. So you're just
I don't even know where this is.
So it's across the street from the boardwalk, basically.
Yeah.
Fantasia Gardens.
Yeah, but where's the putting green? Right there?
It's the same spot.
Oh.
So that's why they can mess it up. And this was a long time ago, but I wanted Fantasia Gardens, but they booked us at the regular one and it sucked. I was mad because I don't like golf, but I like mini golf because it's cute. So don't make that mistake. But who does it? Well, lots of people don't love putt-putt, but that's a fun, different, harking back to simpler times playing mini golf. It's like teenager thing, but it's fun.
Great for a resort day or a non-park day.
And of course you can take the kids and do a family thing, but also my husband and I used to play mini golf all the time when we were dating. So it's a cute, inexpensive, and it's free with your Walt Disney World vacation package. Yes. So that's also fantastic. And not a lot of people know about it. So not a lot of people do it. So it's not very crowded. You want to take the next one?
Yes. So something I have not done, but I am totally interested in doing, and I actually just looked up the pricing for it, is doing a fireworks cruise either at Magic Kingdom or at Epcot. Have you done either one of these?
I have. I did a fireworks cruise at Magic Kingdom. I enjoyed the history part of it because the skippers kind of take you around the Seven Seas Lagoon and take you around different spots and tell you about things. But I didn't love the fireworks aspect of it because at Magic Kingdom, I do like to see the projections and get the vibe at Magic Kingdom. So if I do another one, it's going to be Epcot because that one, they take you under the bridge that's in between France and UK. So you have a great viewpoint and then you're not around other people and you can see the fireworks perfectly fine. So if you're going to do one, I would say probably Epcot is the better one to do, but this one, I don't know if I would do just 2 people because of the price point for it.
Yeah, the price point is quite high. So this is a little bit of a splurge if you are doing it.
Great proposal idea though, on a boat, watching the firework, great proposal, great vow renewal. There's a lot of instances where this is a good idea, but it is a higher price point. So just FYI, but it is very romantic watching the fireworks on a boat with nobody around you except a skipper.
What can you bring with you? Can you bring any food? Can you bring a beverage? Anything like that?
I mean, I don't think they'll stop you from bringing anything on board. They provide you with like basic snacks, so like bag of chips and I think some sodas. But to my knowledge, you can bring whatever you want.
Great. Probably
not alcohol, but it's been a minute since I read the policy because I had a client just do it. She's on the trip right now, but I can't remember if they said anything about wine and beer. Yeah.
Yeah. But definitely a great idea, and I think a great date night option if you're looking for something different.
Yeah. Another unique one is you can get a horse-drawn carriage ride at Port Orleans, Riverside, or Fort Wilderness. I do not like Riverside, so you speak to this because I don't like this hotel. Personal bias, 100% personal bias. I'm just gonna say it. So.
Okay. So you don't have to be staying at either one of these hotels if you want to do the horse-drawn carriage ride. It is something that you don't pre-book, to the best of my knowledge. Can you pre-book it? Yeah, you just.
No, that day of you pre-book the horseback riding at Fort Wilderness, but not the carriage rides. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Definitely a more budget-friendly option to do if you were looking for something different, but I forget how long it is, 20-30 minutes.
I mean, it's not super long.
Yeah, so you just basically go around the grounds of Riverside or Fort Wilderness. So another option that you might want to consider for a non-park day.
And we didn't put on here Surrey rentals because that's not romantic. That is work. I mentioned it before going to Flying Fish, but if you come to me on our date night and say, hey, let's rent a Surrey, I will say, hey, have fun by yourself. I'm not biking the crap out of my legs and then getting all sweaty and nasty before dinner. That's not happening. But if I can be a passenger princess while you pedal us around.
Your princess. So I think it's a great option, and you totally deserve that specialty cocktail after you do it. Yeah. Think about it that way.
Yeah, maybe just don't do it in July or August when it's 110 degrees.
And it's going to downpour. I've seen that happen to so many people.
So many people. It's funny. It's not funny. It's funny, but it's not funny.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The last unique experience outside the park. Have you done this one?
Kind of. So
how can you kind of do this?
Because you get to the door and then it's a staff event. And then you can't get in.
You wanted to, but you were turned away. Oh,
yeah. Okay. Well, I think they said it was like a caveat. Like we were technically able to go in, but it was still it was a staff thing. So it was interesting. So it was a December trip. We were staying at the yacht club and we walked over Jelly Rolls and I think there was I think part of it was closed off. So we decided to not do it. We were already exhausted, but we just kind of wanted to check it off the list. Have you done it?
Yes. So what we're talking about is Jelly Rolls. Jelly Rolls is the dueling piano bar, again, at the Boardwalk. So if you guys can't sense the theme, the Boardwalk is a great place for a date night. We've mentioned several places there because it's a great place for a date night. But Jelly Rolls in particular is adults only, so it's 21 and up. There is a cover charge, and it's a dueling piano bar, and it is so much fun. It's not like a Disney dueling piano bar. They'll play whatever you pay them to play. They'll play Disney songs if you do, but just pay to play, and the audience has to be having a good time for it to really be great. But the couple times that I went, the audience was having a great time. So everybody was having a great time. And it's a lot of fun. Across the street is Atlantic City Dance Hall. I have never done this because I'm not a dancing kind of person. It's also an adult only venue, also a cover charge there. But I would probably do Jelly Rolls out over that because it's just a more fun vibe.
Yeah, for sure. And something definitely unique. Okay, question. So, well, I guess it would be a question for probably some listeners. What do you do with your kids when you want to do a date night? I think it's a good option to, talk about that or.
Yeah. So I know it depends on the ages of the kids. Some parents are fine leaving their kids in the hotel room. They have maybe an older kid that can babysit, but there are babysitting services. Have you ever used them? I don't have kids, so I can't ask.
Yeah, I know. I should have. So if you don't have, a grandparent or, a family member that's with you that, is, free babysitting, there are a couple options that you can pre-reserve, including like nanny services, babysitting services directly through some companies that are sponsored or approved by Disney. So they, like Kids Night Out, for example. So you can definitely do that. We have not done it. We've usually either had like a grandparent or have just, stayed back with the kids. But it is an option. And I've had a lot of clients do it, and they've recommended a couple of them and have just said, overwhelming feedback that the kids had a fantastic time. There were childcare services at select hotels for a while, but they did not come back.
Yeah, post-COVID, they haven't brought them back, because I know the Contemporary had a really cool one.
The Beach and Yacht.
Yeah, but they haven't brought any of them back. And I think just having the in-room babysitting service is better anyways, because then the kids can be in their own space. They can wind down and take a nap. I agree with Mackenzie. Like, I think this is something that if you're wanting some adult only time, definitely do it, because this vacation is for you too. It doesn't mean 100% of the time has to be devoted to your kids. It's okay to take a dinner and have the kids have a babysitter, and you sneak away. You're not sneaking because you're hiring somebody, but you go away and have time for the two of you to like not have kids around, because there is something to be said for just a meal or a couple hours, just the two adults.
Yeah, definitely. And there's enough on site that is, geared towards adults. I mean, there's something for everyone, but, definitely some adults only experiences that you'd be remiss to miss.
I mean, we've mentioned 3 adults only, like you have to be an adult to go to these things. But we've also mentioned a ton of things that aren't adult only, but everything we've talked about is on Disney property. So you are within like a 15-minute Uber ride wherever you go from your kids. So this is all stuff outside of the park, obviously. And there's a bunch of other things that you can do, but these just were ones that I thought was fun. Mackenzie thought was fun that we could highlight for you guys. I don't necessarily think you should do a date day in a park. Parks are meant for doing park things. However, I think we can probably point out a couple restaurants that we think could give a date night vibe, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Definitely. So Magic Kingdom, you have 2 highly themed restaurants, Be Our Guest and Cinderella's Royal Table. Both of them have, very upscale for a theme park menu. So I would say that those are, good options. I am a Skipper Canteen fan. So like if I would also put that on the list, but I put that on the list for every single thing that I want to talk about Magic Kingdom dining. Yeah. And any other options, Magic Kingdom, I think that's pretty much it. I would say.
No. Like Magic Kingdom, I think we can kind of agree the food is lackluster at best. But I like Be Our Guest and Cinderella's Royal Table for date night because they're prefix menus, and prefix menus in my head automatically are like date night menus. And the food is elevated. So it is, nicer theme park food. And you're in a castle, which that's a date night. You're in a stinking castle. So those are my 2 favorites. And Skipper Canteen has good food. It does not give date night vibes at all, but it is good food.
Yeah. Good food, good drinks.
Yeah.
I would, yeah.
Yeah. Now, Epcot, look, the entirety of World Showcase basically is great for date night. However, if we had to narrow it down, I'm going to get some hate for this one. I did say Coral Reef.
I do not agree.
Okay. The only reason I say Coral Reef is because I think it's cool, the ambiance with the aquarium. That's it. Not because the dining room area is beautiful, not because the food is the best. It's because of the ambiance.
I have a problem eating fish in front of fish. That is just...
That's okay. That's totally fair.
That's can't do it. Hard pass.
Totally fair.
I do 100% agree with you on the second one that you mentioned.
Monsieur Paul. That one has a secret entrance, and it is elevated true French food. and it's wonderful. And I forgot Le Cellier.
Yeah, I think Le Cellier, but I think Monsignor Paul for sure. If you were doing an elevated date night, I would say Takumi Tai if you were looking for an elevated date night in Japan. That is your fine dining Japan experience. And I just did Shiki Sai, if I'm saying it correctly, which is the brand new took over Tokyo dining in Japan. And I would say that that's a solid dining option. It had really good sushi.
Yeah, and all the other like Epcot has great food. So there are tons of other recommendations that we have for Epcot in general. Those are just more of like a date night vibe. Hollywood Studios, look, we all know I'm not a Hollywood Studios fan anyways, but the only one that has like nice food is the Hollywood Brown Derby.
Yeah.
And that's all we need to say about that.
Unless you're going to bring me to Woody's Lunchbox to get tachos.
Yeah.
then that's a perfect date for me.
If you're Hollywood Studios, just go ahead and leave and go over to Topolino's Terrace. Okay?
Exactly. Take the Skyliner.
Yes. Easy. Done. Bye. Animal Kingdom, though, I love Nomad Lounge. And I think this is a really good, we talked about lounges already. I love this lounge. And I love it also as a pre-Tiffin's dinner. I love Tiffin's. I think it's really well done. It's not super romantic, but it's also Africa inspired. And Africa doesn't scream romance to me. It's good food though.
Yeah.
Have you been?
Say, no, I've done. Yeah. So it's on our list actually for the next
I've done
trip.
Tiffin's 3 times.
Yeah.
I think it's great.
Everyone raves about it who goes. So I would say that that's a great option. Nomad Lounge is also a great option. You can pair that with one of the enchanting extras. If you were doing a day date and then, going to Tiffin's, you could do your Wild Africa trek beforehand.
Or
not sure if I would consider the date, but it's still a unique experience. Oh yeah, you could do the dinner one. What is that one called?
I forget what it's called, but Animal Kingdom has a ton of really great enchanting extras. Thank you so much. And one of them, it's like a dusk time.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like savoring the savannah, I think it's called.
I think that sounds right. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Animal Kingdom is a beautiful park. I think it in general just lends itself to like a really nice date, because then you have a drink at Nomad Lounge, you go have dinner at Tiffin's. By then it may be dusk. You can go walk through Pandora at night, which we all love, a bioluminescent Pandora. Then you go watch the projection show on the Tree of Life, which is stunning. And you have a great night. Animal Kingdom, I would say, is the most romantic of the 4 parks.
Yeah. And at that point of the day, you're going to have a lot less people.
Yeah, so that's the park stuff. But dates, I would say, we'd encourage you to do some stuff outside of the park. But if you are dead set on doing date stuff in the park, we've got options for you too. We've got all kinds of options for Valentine's Day, beyond, anniversary. We love.
Yeah. I have one more that I haven't done, but I was just thinking that it could be a good option. Have you done Jiko?
No, but because I wanted
Not a fan?
Well, I wanted to put Sanaa on here, but my last experience with Sanaa was not great. But Jiko, it's an upscale African food, but African food's tough, and it not everybody loves it. I think Jiko is more Indian African, and Tiffin's is more African.
Yeah, I think it's still a unique experience.
It is,
think it has a smaller scale. I think it could be a good option if you're staying at Animal Kingdom.
100%. If you're at Animal Kingdom Lodge and you have a rest day, definitely do this, because it is a really interesting restaurant, really unique food, really unique experience. It's not for me, but that doesn't mean it's not for anybody else.
Yeah, you can do the Starlight Safari right afterwards.
Because it leaves from Animal Kingdom Lodge. Yes, I love that. I love that a lot. Perfect. Well, did you anything else? Because it's a pretty extensive list, to be honest. I'm pretty proud of what we came up with for people for date night stuff.
Yeah, I think, besides doing, I think that's everything that I would say. I think there's a couple of lounges that are also great sleepers at some of the other deluxe resorts, but I think the ones that we touched upon are the most themed.
Tops, yeah. But we'd love to hear from you guys. If you have any other suggestions, drop them in the comments. Share any suggestions that you guys have with us. We'd love to hear it. And in the meantime, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. And again, a special thanks to our sponsor, Alonzi Travel. Check them out at alonzi-travel.com/take the trip, and they can coordinate your date night for you. So you just say, hey, I want to go on a date night. Great. We will make it happen for you. Until then, we will see you guys in 2 weeks for another exciting episode of Earstravagent Adventures. Bye.
Bye for now.